Hey man, what's up? First, I wanted to say congrats to Clemson. Clemson beat Alabama. Yeah, Clemson is in the ACC. So yeah, big ups to Clemson. Um, big ups to the Tar Heels tonight. I think it said they beat uh, NC State. So it's one of our rivals in the area. Uh, And yeah, so let's get into this Trump thing, man. This D Train's take on Trump's address. I like the rebuttals to the rebuttals. That's right, man. I just like people I like to see what people say when after they see what the people say about the president, the president's address, right? I like listening to what people have to say because it's more interesting. Like fuck you. And basically, that's all it is. It's just like I don't like you, and you're wrong. And yeah, they're wrong, of course. I mean, look, 5 years ago they said, yeah, we need border security. Was it five? Was it even five? It's like six now, seven, whatever. But what happened to why didn't it go? Why didn't it pass? If they were for it, who was against it? I mean, I'm asking the question. Maybe I should done some more research on this. Let's look it up now. Hell, I got time. I just got to be up in a couple hours to, you know, do something. Sometimes I get up real early and I'll make dinner for the night, and sometimes the kids, my wife and them, they'll wake up and they'll be eating dinner for breakfast because I try to hook it up, right? But anyway, so like, can you ask that question? Why didn't immigration reform pass? And was it 2013? Was it 2013 or so? I don't know what day it was. Okay, why immigration reform died in Congress. Okay. This is NBC News. He'll block immigration bill. So this is under Obama passing. What does it say? What does it say? I don't see any numbers. I just see dates. I don't see, I like to see numbers. Okay. Contraception as a Democratic wedge issue. No, I want to see the immigration thing. American people don't trust them to enforce the laws. Cantor. Okay, so Cantor was still in office. We must embrace the champion comprehensive, and if we do not, our party's appeal will continue to shrink to its core constituencies only. Hmm. They saw no short-term benefit. Yes, the long-term politics cry out for Republicans to remove immigration as an issue, but doing so would be so painful in the process. Just see Eric Cantor's primary defeat. So Cantor had already been booted. And this article is from 2014. Let's go back, man. Okay, so this one says the real reason why the House won't pass comprehensive. Brookings.edu. Let's see. Who is that? That's Bachman. And who is that other guy? George and Jeb Bush and Senator John McCain, Lindsey Graham support it. Yeah. I don't know. That sounds like okay. All right. So if George and Jeb Bush and Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham supported it in 2014, I'm saying something sounds a little fishy. I remember like I think I was still fuming over going in and taking out Muammar Gaddafi around that time. I think I was still like that was back in 11, you know. So I was still like, yo, look what they doing over here. But immigration reform. Cuz that was like 11, no, 12 years after 9/11. Right now we're sitting at 17, 18 almost. So that's like a whole generation just never experienced that. The Republican Party is 89% white and 97% of Republican House districts in the 113th Congress have white majorities. Oh, so they trying to play the race card. Illegal immigrants, presence in Atlanta, as well illegal aliens. It turns out that 82% of Tea Party are either anxious or fearful of them. Okay, so that's an assault on what they see as a fear of them. Is that a poll? Okay, so you got to watch out with these polls sometimes, man. These polls be like, yo, man, do you fear rapists? And then it'd be like, oh, see, they fear Latinos. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. Yeah, I do fear. I fear the negative element in anybody, right? That could be there, right? Not fear it, but you got to be cognizant that it's possible. It's windy out there, y'all. The temperature's dropping. I think it's only going to get up to like 50 something today, 50 degrees or so. It was like 60 today. I was thinking about jumping on the tractor and cutting some grass, but you know, I figured I don't know. My dad said those bees are gone from this summer. You got to remember they got me twice in 2 days, right? One time I went down there and I stirred them up. Boom, got me. Went back down there the next day because I thought, okay, maybe that was just an anomaly, and it wasn't. They were like, oh, that's that dude. It got my ass again. So yeah, they almost, I guess, they found 60 votes in the Senate in 2006 and 2013 for immigration legislation, and each time the House Republican majority refused to take it up. Claimed by Ronald Brownstein. Okay, so why didn't they take it up? Because that's the other side of the story. A lot of times they pad stuff in these bills, and they'd be like, "Wait a minute, I can't do that. That's crazy. So yeah, so Trump's address was like was kind of like a more serious tone to it. Just like kind of low key. Some people said he was tired. I think he was just trying to not be like, "Yo, man, y'all suck." It's not a rally. When he has to rally, he understands he has to be in his rally tone. When he's in the Oval Office, he's probably, and it's just him, and he has a mic right here. He can just talk. So I think that's what that was. He wasn't trying to. He was just trying to say, "Look, man, this is serious. You got a lot of bad things going on, dude, man." I'm just look. I just remember like stuff sometimes. It's like I remember this one time I was listening to this podcast, and the guy was some like high profile athlete, maybe a baseball player or something, and he was saying how like he was in a parking lot of some like big store, and he could tell the dialect uh of this couple that was arguing, and they're speaking Spanish. I don't know. Maybe they were Cuban. Maybe they were. I don't know what they were. You know what I'm saying? They were Latin. They were. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I probably should have went back and looked at that. But anyway, he was saying how he could hear him arguing, and he's had felt like he had to step in and just be like, "Hey, man, you know, I understand, you know." Um, and then the guy revealed to him that she had to sleep with 12 different dudes just to get here, and now she's trying to create a normal life with a guy, you know, and they may have been together beforehand, but just that knowing what she had to go through. Oh yeah, that's my boo boo. I grabbed something out of the back of my truck and it had a blade on it and it was sharp evidently. And so I think I may have taken a chunk out. I think I'm gonna take this off. But I tried to do something to it. Hopefully it's not gonna make me lose a arm. But then but that's but that seems to be a pretty common thing for some of these people coming up. And I say people because I don't know if it's just happening to females or if it's happening to males too, right? But it feels like to me that there's a lot of dealing in flesh that's being promulgated through this caravan type ordeal. I guess that's a little Wells Fargo product placement out of my Wells Fargo coffee mug. But this they not paying me for that, by the way. So they not representing any of these views. It just happened to be one of my go-to mugs because I don't know, it just leaks every once in a while. It's not like perfect, but I can drink out of it. You know what I mean? It's like nobody can drink out of your cup but you. For some reason, everybody else just leaks. For me, it doesn't do anything except do what it's supposed to do. Yeah. So that's the That's one of the ones. I got my other stable one, but there's a lot of dealing in flesh in this thing too, man. And that's not the only place. I mean, you see it all over the world, and it's sad, but there has to be standards. Like, I'll say it like this: for me, I have to have my security card, my identity, everything, right? And if I get in trouble, I'm going to have to pay for my trouble, right? Everybody has to pay in some way, shape, or form for, you know, it could be a speeding ticket, right? They got me now. Don't pay, or if I don't show up, issue for those people who. Okay, looks like it's really windy. So hopefully it's still moving. If not, then peace out. But I'm gonna keep on talking. Um, so yeah, it doesn't create a good situation. I mean, like I say, we got our own problems with people here already. You know what I'm saying? From one thing to the next, big or small. I mean, but if you really want to talk about big, yeah, we got some big problems. But why bring in a bunch of people, a lot of them who may be great people? I mean, goodness gracious, some of the coolest people around here, they're just everything. I mean, African American and whatever you want to call us, just great people. The Africans, great people. The Afghani dude, awesome dude, man. Just the kindest guy. His wife is funny. I mean, these Arabs, Asians, they have these Arabs. I guess they're Arabic. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, they have sense of humor, man. They just funny. They get it. Okay, Latinos. I mean, some of the funniest, awesome, productive, great people, and these are the ones who are trying to do it right, right? But then you have the other ones who aren't trying to do it right, who are still probably some good people. But then you have the ones inside those groups. So what do you do when you have an open border? Everybody's from all over the world, not just there. I mean, hell, you could even say that would just be a channel for anyone from all over the world to just get through. You don't even have to be Guatemalan or whatever other group that you want to say is coming, from the South Americans. No, you got people from all over the world coming through if they know that's where you can go. You got to know. I mean, that ain't even the only way. So something has to be done. And then the next thing you're gonna have to do is with port security and airport security. I guess. I mean, How can we not radiate people and also be very secure, right? That would be the main thing, and not like fondle people's wives. How can we do that? Let's try to work on that too, in addition to, right? Because it all goes to the same thing. I mean, some of the best countries that do it, they probably don't have as high a population, but they do a pretty good job. They don't make it real. Some of them don't make it easy to get there unless you just flying through. Oh, there's your flight. Okay, this is connecting. Okay, all right, go right there. No, no, you go right there. All right, thank you. So, why does it have to be so easy here? Right. Oh, because you can afford it. Okay, so what else are we supposed to afford? That's the other battle. You guys talking about like 70%. Like, think about it. Let's say, all right, I saw something that said, 20% of the, you know, people pay 88% of the tax, right? So you're paying 88% of the taxes. So that's carrying the load for the other 80% of the people. You trying to say what's the threshold after 10 million, right? Let's say then okay, so then what makes it so okay, so let's say Aaron Rodgers. Was it Aaron Rodgers? No, not Aaron Rodgers. Was it? I don't know how much. Shit. How much does Aaron Rodgers make? I don't know. I meant A Rod. A Rod. How did I get A Rod and Aaron Rodgers? It was like both of them could be A Rod, right? I mean, technically. So Alex Rodriguez. Is that it? Okay, A Rod. So I think he was making what, 10 million? So let's say like number one, how many people make 10 million? But number two, what if people do make more than 10 million? Then that's like it, like a lot of people can't conceptualize that, but I can. I can say I can see it. I mean, I don't see that as an impossibility. I'm just saying it's probably an improbability, but maybe not, right? But let's say I figured out a way to make $10 million, right? And I'm like, okay, how can I scale this shit up and make 20 million? What's the incentive to making $11 million? You know what I'm saying? And think about it. That $10 million is probably going to a lot of places of people who are getting it, getting the product or the service out to the people. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of people working. So why would you cap somebody's potential like that? You'd then be capping, putting a cap on, but then you might say, "Oh, well, it's your responsibility to do more." Well, no, no, not really. No, it's not. What if you could do more? You just be like, "Dang, it's not worth it." On my 11th million dollars, right? I gotta pay 70%. So you're gonna take 700,000 of that, and that, right? That's gonna take away from paying the people on the other side. Let's say you got this 10 million right here, right? and then you got the next 10 million. That means the next 10 million can't earn as much as the first 10 million. Or if you're trying to go that far, like let's say you're trying to make 20 million. Okay. That means wouldn't you have to take some from the first 10 million people just to kind of uh attenuate to the second 10 million group, all that production and shit going into I mean somehow that kind of works out in my mind. I'm not an economist. I dropped that class. I was like, nah, man, this is a different language. They were using like all kinds of like what do you call it? Like big words for like simple concepts. And that was too much because I was like a junior, senior. I was like, I don't need this, you know. But it just seems like that makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna pay way more on the next 10 million, that's gonna take so much away from the production of that and the other 10 million. I guess, or the production value. Is that a term? Production value? I don't know. I'm guessing it is. Anyway, yeah. So I look forward to the rebuttals. I I can't wait to see people talk about, hey, this is why you wrong. Hey, this is why you wrong. Uh-uh. Uh-huh. You wrong. Uh-uh. You wrong. Uh-uh. You know. It's gonna be fun if I can pop in, but I really gotta get my shit together because I don't know, I just feel something coming. Hey, look, I don't know how long have I been growing this hair. This is like, hey, you know how like you see them dudes with the big beards, like what's the dude on the basketball team? Fear the beard, the guy. But you know who I'm talking about. And then you got the hairy white dudes too, redheads, the brown beards is just like thick, and they seem to grow them shits like overnight. Look, this is like 8 years of growth right here. 8 years. And at this point I don't want to cut it. Okay, not 8 years, but it's kind of like a month or so. But still, some people it's like 8 years, man. They be growing a full beard over like a day or two. I'm like, damn, how you do that? Right? Not saying that I want to. I'm probably gonna go cut this right after this. I'm just saying, it would be nice to be able to like fill out some beard action, but it's all good. You know, I'm still beautiful. Yeah. How you get all this beauty in one human? I don't know. But therefore, on the other hand, nevertheless, word and peace.